Hey, what's happening, man? This is Moose, aka Big House, man. It's Heavy Hitters Radio Show. We are
late.
Real.
No, we're not real late. We're on pre-daylight savings time.
That is true.
So
We're
then
still
it's only
late.
8:23.
We're still late. We're still 23 minutes late from daylight savings time. Hey, man, it's Heavy Hitters Radio Show.
We're on Springs
We're on Guam time.
Guam, right?
Yeah, it's Guam. Welcome to Guam. Hey, man, we are live at 361
Indiana.
and Heavy Hitters Radio Show. Hey, I tell you what, to my right, I'm gonna jump right in. To my right's the star of the show, man, the big fella, man, the myth, the legend, the one and only LGZ Mbaku.
What's up, man? Life's good, man. Can't complain, man. Had a great little mini vacation.
Man, about your 8th of the year.
Down in Key West, dog.
Much deserved.
If you ever,
I like that he just ignores it.
right? If you need to talk about this. If you ever in Key West, there's a spot called Adam and Eve. I recommend that you go. It's exactly what it sounds like. Clothing is optional.
Clothing optional.
It's optional.
Beach joint.
No, it's not a beach club.
Oh.
There's no cameras, so as soon as you pull out your phone, they own you. Like, nah, man, you gotta put that up. You gotta get a body with that. So they own you, dog. They got body paint. I know it's Florida, so the convention of wisdom is a bunch of old people, and it is. However, throughout the madness,
swing.
It ain't swing. It's more like perched upon their nuts. But in fairness, man, there's a couple of young ones in there, man, and they nigga too. So I highly recommend it, though. If you ever get
What's the name of it again?
It's called Adam and Eve. You can't miss it. It's on 3rd floor.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, we got. I'm glad you're here, man. We got the lady of the show, man. The lady of the house, man. Run EMC.
Hi guys, happy Tuesday.
What's up?
Yes.
What you
know
got
what?
for us?
I'm living the dream. I have.
What is a nightmare?
It's never a nightmare. It all depends on your optimistic or pessimistic outlook on life. So we know that your glasses have been deep.
No, my life is my glass is like 3/4 full. Yo, I'm happy.
Earlier, not so much, but now I'm glad you are.
I missed it.
Yeah, I wasn't early. Yeah, I had a meltdown early.
A little bit, like a temper tantrum.
That's why we're in the air right now.
Maybe that's why we're
Hey,
late.
so you good?
Yes, living the dream always. Although I am tired and I'm a little bit mad about.
news?
I'm a little bit mad about daylight savings time. We will have some news.
Hey, man, we got the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen down there, too, man. CC and Monsky. CC and Monsky's in here, too. What's going down, fellas?
Alive today. I'm alive today.
Lala, you barely kicking or something.
I'm alive today. I'm appreciative of that. Appreciate the beginning and the end.
Right.
The spot you was talking about. Good way to start the show off.
Adam and Eve. All right, hey, man, I tell you what, man, we're in there, man. Hey, man, folks, CC's a little under the weather, man. We're gonna let him just chill, man.
I am legend.
He's a little under the weather, but hey, it's his born day, man. So shout out to CC on his born day, man.
Yes, I'm grateful I get to spend it with you guys, incredible people, get to share it with the whole world. So glad to be here.
Outstanding. We're glad you're here. Now, it always happens, man. It was eerily quiet in here.
Yeah.
Until we start, and maybe it's because we're loud. Could be because we're louder and the whole place gets louder. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but it could be for sure.
And also, when I got here, I was the only one in here.
Right.
It was like, okay, and she was like, it's gonna slow. I was like,
Hey, by the way, sorry to cut you off, but they will announce this will be the third week of the official college football top 25 poll. It's happening here in a few minutes. I was going to say, man, I think my boys would be, if not 4th, would be 5th. For sure would be 5th, I feel like. I think Georgia will creep up into the top 4. So Moose is going on the line. And I'm going to say Alabama is a consensus number 1.
Oh, of course.
For sure. And they've been that way for a long time.
All that's going to happen is they might keep Notre Dame at 4 just so they can have that 1-4 matchup with Notre Dame, Alabama.
That'll make too much money.
You know what I'm saying? So they keep them at 4, or they might move Notre Dame up to 3, and then
who would be 3 if Notre Dame?
No,
was at 4?
Clemson is number 2.
Would Georgia leapfrog all the way to number 3?
I think
Clemson might go. Yeah, they beat Kentucky, so I don't think they'll leapfrog.
I think Georgia will leapfrog Michigan. And I'm a Michigan fan.
But Michigan had a big win over Penn State, though.
Yes, we did. However, I still feel like Georgia will leapfrog over Michigan and go to 4. I don't think they'll put Michigan at 4. Hopefully, I'm wrong.
Right.
What were UCF?
But Georgia's got to play Alabama coming up, though.
Yes, they do. But with one loss to Alabama, I don't think that drops them out of the
Hell no, man. Alabama got to lose 2 games to get out.
Good point.
You lose to Alabama and you're already in the top 4. I think you stay in the top 4.
Unless you get beat like
Clemson.
Who beat Louisville 77-16?
Clemson.
Was that Clemson?
Clemson put up a Madden score on them. It was like a teenage boy playing his dad type score. You know what I mean? Like I want to say, what's the coach's name? Dabo's son scored, and they had a couple linemen score. You know what I mean? Like everybody was scoring. The old girl that does the water, she scored. Everybody scored in that game. Hey man, Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. You're listening. Hey man, tonight's midterm election, man. We've had Jeezy's president, Donald J. Trump in office now for 2 years solid.
Yeah, we still surviving. The world ain't end.
And he's a big fan, man.
I'm not a big fan. I'm just saying we still here, though.
How do you do it, man?
The same way them people feel about Obama that the world's gonna end. No, we still here. Matter of fact, Obama just said that, which was a great commentary. He was like, the Republicans, they use their scare tactics. He was like, remember I was going to take your guns? Remember remember Ebola? Remember all this stuff was supposed to happen? And
No.
So now it's a caravan of terrorism coming through.
Caravan.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah, about what we live in.
Because if they get here, like our roofs will be fixed, like all our little small jobs will be done. Is that what's supposed to think?
There will be more of my favorite food around.
There'll be nothing left for us to do.
No, the thing is
that bad? That was bad.
Yeah, it's funny, but the problem is like me and you discuss this. Like I love how Indiana has a huge issue with immigration, like
the border control.
Border control, like we not nowhere near the border. Like
get out of Shelbyville. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like that's not a
political issue.
Indiana issue. That's a Texas, Arizona, California. Yeah, that's their problem. They ain't nothing to do with us.
All right, so man, today's show is called Vote or Die, and here's what's happening. So the United States is going through some turmoil. I mean, there's fights, man, red or blue. Which way you can go? You can go right or left, and hopefully somebody's checking the polls. It doesn't look like it. Looks like a news. Looks like a news person is checking Netflix schedule to see what she's going to watch next.
That wasn't Netflix.
And by the way, man, we do have Bruiser reviews coming up. I got something that I've been checking out, so I want to talk about that. And then, maybe, no, never mind. I got too excited.
Circle back, I think Michigan ends up at 4 because LSU got LSU got blown out. LSU got to go.
I got too excited, man. Like I said, I feel like Georgia's going to leapfrog Michigan. All right,
I think Georgia goes to 3, Michigan at 4.
So, you can't drop Clemson. Oh, Clemson too. Notre Dame's in there though. And Notre Dame beat
LSU. Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of jacked up, man. Like UCF has no shot. They're undefeated.
Here's the thing. I remember the last time Michigan won the national championship, we were tied. It was 1997, and we tied with Penn State. After beating them.
Yeah.
And so we had identical records. We beat them, but they were both voted national champions.
What year was that? Was that the 5 down? Was that the 5 down game against Colorado?
We lost against Colorado. I don't know why you need to bring that up.
That was a 5 down game.
I'm not sure why you bring it up. You weren't even old enough to watch. Were you old enough to watch?
Yeah, Cordell Stewart, they got 5. They had 5 downs.
All right, guys. Hey, so all right, Jeezy. today's show is called Vote or Die, man.
Yes.
Give me your thoughts on the current state of what's happening right now.
Well, I think it's kind of refreshing, honestly, man, to see all the people that take the midterm very seriously now. Remember, usually you don't have this kind of turnout or this kind of like
Hey, by the way,
urgency.
do you want to do this while we're going to?
What's top 25? Yeah.
Hey, so all right, real quick, guys. Sorry. So 25 is Washington, 24 Auburn, 23 Fresno State, 22 Iowa State, and 21 Iowa.
Why do we even do a top 25? They don't matter.
It does matter. These are all bowl teams.
It should be like top 10. The rest of y'all, we just
No, they're all bowl. They're all
Nobody
major bowl
care
teams.
about the Eli Lilly insulin bowl.
Yes. that's a good one. Man. I want to watch that. Oh, here we go. So Penn State drops to 20 with Texas at 19, little brother at 18, Boston
Michigan
College.
State, for those
Boston
that are
College is
confused.
17 at 16, Mississippi State. Number 18 is what?
Michigan State.
Yeah, well, I don't say
I'll
that.
say it.
I don't say that.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, so go ahead, man.
No, I'm just glad that there's a sense of urgency where people are taking their, just voting very seriously. I mean, and there's always that one Facebook friend that says I ain't voting because my vote don't. There's always one.
Yeah.
Pay them no mind. Your vote does matter as a whole, as a collective.
Right.
It matters.
If nothing else, how you feel.
And then also, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain because you can participate.
True story.
Yes.
I don't have my sticker on. I know you're supposed to have your obligatory sticker on.
Yeah.
I think mine's in my pocket.
I'm
I
not.
was really sad because during the presidential election, I didn't
I'm
get
not
a sticker.
participating in the social experiment.
Hey, so at 15, we have, is that Florida? I can't see.
Florida.
How is UCF?
At
Kentucky
14,
still ahead of
NC
UCF.
State. 13 is Syracuse. UCF at 8-0, 12.
To a 12, they ain't moved.
At Kentucky, 11. Man, they don't play the same type of caliber
Dog,
that these other teams.
you do realize that Alabama finna play like Aloysius State like next week.
No, that's
and
like
we never give them crap for that though. Alabama always had like
I
four.
do.
They play like 4 games against Pike High School. Lawrence Central.
Everybody plays there like chumps at the beginning. Alabama spreads theirs out.
At the end of the year,
Alabama
the
spreads
week
theirs
before
out.
we get the SEC title game, we're gonna be like, we're gonna play Sisters of the Poor.
It's actually kind of genius.
No, it's weird because it's not fair, man. That's why college football. That's why college basketball. Football is a sham.
Yeah.
When it comes to national title, though, it doesn't mean anything.
I don't believe that.
Because certain schools don't play each other. They don't play. There's no true national champion. They don't play nobody. Like Alabama can play literally 3 games.
Here's the top
a year.
10. We got the top 10, and Zero State
Is
comes
number
in
10.
at 10, and they didn't move. They didn't move from last week,
No.
even with with the win.
This is going to be slower.
Yeah, I don't know how they try to milk this. The whole point is we want to see who at 5.
Say what?
The whole point is to see who at 5. 'Cause once we get to 5, we already know who the last 4
I
are.
love that you call it Zero State. I love it.
That's that team from down south.
I love it.
Yeah, that team from Ohio. That's about it. That's all it is.
We went to school in Ohio.
I understand that, yes. All right, guys. So, all right, Heavy Heads Radio Show now. It's election night. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, real quick, man. What do you guys think about how, if you watch any news so in the last little bit, what do you guys think about that? And I got one question for everybody. You guys can answer it first. Are you ready for regular TV to come back? Like, no more ads. What are we going to do with our time?
Yeah, so the commercials, that's the biggest thing is I'm ready for the commercials to be done.
Yeah, you can have my YouTube back.
There's only so much shit Mike Braun and Joe Donnelly can talk about each other, and you still listen to it.
What?
It's gotta stop.
I heard there was an ad so bad that Trump was going to put out about immigration.
Yeah.
Even Fox News was like, yo, we can't air that.
Well. Speaking of Fox
It
News,
was so bad. It was so bad that even Fox News was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, Trump, man, hey, we ain't with that.
Well,
So I can only imagine what that was. They probably had like some MS-13s doing a crib walk or something.
Hey, real quick, Zero State at 10, West Virginia at 9, and Washington State continues to climb at 8.
So something else I want to bring up about Fox News. We just saw something that is pretty rare. We saw 2 Fox News personalities
LSU at 7, yes.
speak for Trump at a Trump rally. Jeanine Pirro and Sean Hannity spoke for Trump at a Trump rally.
I saw that.
Is Trump would say, the crooked news media, that's what they are. They're the people in his corner. The crooked people are the ones backing him. If I'm getting my news from somebody, right? If I want somebody telling me about my health, I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be somebody that benefits from me not being healthy, right? So they're just spreading the same nonsense.
It's rhetoric,
spreading. And you can't have Fox News as your news source.
Right.
You can't do it.
Because then it's back
speaks to
pocket.
that, yeah.
So I mean, there's always been questions, Mosky, about if the media is controlled by a certain member of society, that kind of thing. Do you have any thoughts on that, or kind of how it's going down?
I think everyone has their specific supporters. Everyone has their peoples in their pocket that support them. That's going to put out, good energy, negative energy about them. So I mean, I don't know if it's just one body that controls all the media. I don't know if that's feasible. I don't know.
All right, I sure understand. Now,
I mean, it may not be one entity, but there is literally, 4 companies that control all of the media we watch, like like Disney, Viacom,
pretty much, yeah,
and Universal. I think it's like maybe 5.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there's no question, folks. You listen to Everybody's Radio Show, and I got a question for you, real quick, guys. So, all right, so as we get further into kind of the politics of what's happening here, is the change. So if all of a sudden the Democrats run the House or the Senate or both, what does that change for the common man? This really shows it's kind of for the common people, in the United States and Canada and wherever else we listen to us.
I think as far as
change,
I think if the Democrats win the House or the Senate, essentially that means nothing won't get done.
Say what?
Nothing won't get done because there won't nothing get pushed through. Everything will just be like blocked.
Deadlocked.
Blocked. You know what I mean?
All right, so guys, real quick, I tell you, we're gonna take a pause real quick and go into sports. So, like we said, Alabama #1.
Notre Dame should be 3, but they won't be. Watch.
Clemson #2.
Watch me like Georgia, Michigan, be like number 3.
There's no way Michigan's gonna leapfrog Notre Dame.
Watch, dog. Watch.
We lost.
Okay, we in
Notre
there.
Dame's 3.
We in there. So I mean, we got Clemson. We played Clemson in the first round.
And I'm gonna tell you right now,
It should be Michigan, but it won't be.
I think it'll be Georgia. I think Georgia.
No.
Oh yeah. Go Blue.
In here, I love it.
Yeah, Georgia.
That's how it should be. They got it right.
No,
Go Blue. Yeah, it's happening right now.
but it's still early though.
Go Blue. We got one more in the revenge tour. Oh, look at this guy. Look at that. That's a big 0. I like it.
0 state.
I like that 0 state sign, man. I like it. Hey, man. Hey, I tell you what, I'm excited, man. We in there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you something else, by the way.
That'd be Penn State, man. That
was a big win that we, and we're on the revenge tour. We're on the revenge tour right now. We got one more state to take down, and once we take down that last state, we're good to go. Now, in between time, we gotta be careful because we gotta go to Rutgers. Michigan has to go to Rutgers, and then the Hoosiers are going up there. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you heard it from Moose, Big House, aka Big House. The Hoosiers play the Wolverines very tough every single year. It's gone into overtime, and it's a
but you heard from Jeezy, it's gonna be a massacre. It's gonna be a bloodbath
this year. I hope so. I hope so.
Hey,
It's my birthday weekend.
I think Michigan is, since the Notre Dame game,
they really come on.
They have looked really good.
Come on, man.
They finally sit on the quarterback.
Yes.
And I think.
And I'm sad because old boy from Indiana, man, he's done.
Who
Peters.
Peters.
Yeah, Peters is down
And
there.
another kid from Ben Davis.
They got
Play-
McCaffrey. They got McCaffrey in there at second string now, and then they got the brother from down south, Joe Milton, at third string, and both of those guys could run. And so
But
now,
speaking of, man, I'm glad you brought up the brothers.
go ahead.
Look here, man. Look here. Everybody's talking about Kaepernick, the kneeling and stuff, dog. We need to address the fact that black quarterbacks in the NFL, unless you're great, you ain't on the squad, yo. How is Nathan Peterman? How did this dude continue
To have
to have a job,
to be in the
dude?
league.
That's awesome.
And start.
And he's a starting NFL quarterback. Huh?
Well,
He Moose, he's not
what
okay.
happened to Tyrod?
Tyrod's in Cleveland.
He's in Cleveland. He only got to man. It shows you the Buffalo Bills made the playoffs last year.
I'm gonna tell you this. Okay,
They made the playoffs.
I read an article. I read an article about old boy from LSU that went to Oakland.
Oh, Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah.
So here's what happened with Jamarcus Russell. He's a starting quarterback in Oakland, and the coaches are like, I don't think he's watching film. Jamarcus is like, man, I saw that blitz package that the Bills had. You know, I'm prepared for that. They was like, all right. So the next week they sent him blank tapes, blank videos. And they're like, hey, Jamarcus, so what did the coach look like? He's like, oh, man, well, you know, they got this happening, and, man, and when I call this play, they coming down like this. And they like, oh, yeah? That's what was happening? He's like, well, yeah, I saw it. You know, it's this and that and the other. I was studying that all night. They was like, oh, okay, which tape? Tape 3. It was on tape 3. You know, I saw the change that they made, and I think we should do this. They like, okay, all right, thanks, Jamarcus. After that, it's over with, man. They know it. They said, I done sent you nothing. And you come with all the information about it, man.
Yeah, man.
Jamarcus, see you.
So what is the Peterman doing? What is he doing? Is he just like?
Man, he's you know what? He's showing up.
Feeding the worms
He's not
when he throwing
kneeling.
the ball.
He's, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing, man.
The
He's trying to-
NFL has.
Who was the starting quarterback? Because it was a brother, wasn't it?
It was Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
But they didn't trade him, but there was somebody else though. It wasn't Peterman.
No, they
EJ
had,
Manuel. EJ Manuel.
Yeah. What happened to him?
He was garbage too.
He was garbage. The point I'm making is the NFL has successfully made it a quarterback sport where only the quarterbacks matter. Like no matter wins the law, we watched Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. It was Drew Brees and Goff play. They don't play against each other. It ain't like Jared Goff lining up at safety. Like none of they made all these positions obsolete except the quarterback.
And Kaepernick can't get a job,
And Kaepernick can't get a job.
but Nate Peterman's got one.
Nathan Peterman got a job.
Now, I would have said something about the starting quarterback in San Francisco this week, but he balled actually. You know, it's not C.J. Breathitt.
Oh, against the Raiders, dude.
But I mean, he put up 30 points in the NFL.
Nick Mullins.
He put up 30 points in the
Brock
NFL.
Osweiler keep getting NFL contracts, man.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, let's think about that. So now, you know, Jameis Winston has a 2-interception game. He's out of there. He's done. Like, now time I ain't bring him back now. They own Dak Prescott. Like, they own him. Like, he gotta go. Like dude, can he? This is his third year. Give him time. Like, let him develop. No, he gotta go. As soon as Deshaun Watson had one bad game, I guarantee you.
You know, Dak Prescott had the highest quarterback rating as a rookie in NFL history.
And they still questioning
And
that.
this is only his second year,
So-
third year.
Third year.
But mind you, the majority of last year was with obviously without Zeke. You know what I'm saying? So he had to do most of it himself.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
with Jason Garrett calling the plays.
saying? Right.
You know, man, I don't know, man. The brothers just can't. We can't be average. Teddy Bridgewater's on the bench, man.
But he's in New Orleans.
He's on the bench.
He-
RG3 can't get it. He can't even
inherited
sniff
the
the.
throne.
He can't even sniff the field, dog.
He's on a roster.
He's on the roster. We can't sniff the field, dog.
He's getting paid.
Come on, man.
It's holding the clip.
I knew it was something up when
Had the best
when
job
my
in the
boy
league.
didn't even get an NFL job. Remember, he won a national title before Tebow got there.
Who's that?
Remember dude from Florida? Like before, he was the quarterback before Tebow got there.
At Florida?
At Florida, they won a national title. Tebow's freshman year, he was the quarterback. He couldn't even sniff the NFL. Like he didn't even get like a come on in, let me see what you got. I think the Bears had him in preseason. He balled out. They cut him. I was like, it was like not luck, but God, I can't think of his name. But he was actually pretty good, dog.
What about Chris Lee?
Chris Lee.
Oh, Chris Lee. They balled at
Florida. Yeah, he balled at Florida.
Oh, he was undersized though.
He was
about
small
5'10".
What is Drew Brees? What is Russell Wilson?
That's true.
I mean, they ain't 6'7".
Yeah.
He couldn't even. He came to the Bears. We had him in preseason. He balled out. I was like, I told my boy Derek, I was like, we ain't keeping him. There's no way. We don't keep drunken Miller, dog. Come on, dog. You know, it's all good. They be on cam, but anyway.
Well, speaking of vote or die, in Indiana, so if you're here with us, the amendment to the Constitution for a balanced budget passed 72% to 28%.
Sweet.
Connie Lawson, Republican Secretary of State. Mike Braun, Republican U.S. Senate.
Yeah, we do that though.
The others are not reported yet, so
I don't know. We shocked
we're waiting on
all of a
auditor
sudden.
and state treasurer still to report.
People forget, man. I don't know why y'all shocked that Indiana's a red state. Like, I'm not. I'm not shocked.
Not
dude.
shocking that Andre Carson right now is the only Democrat
You know,
that is running.
only Northwest Indiana. We got our brains screwed on right. Yeah,
Well,
it was all blue up there.
It was one county.
No, it was all blue.
It was Lake County. It was blue. Everywhere else was red.
Yeah, this one county
I'll
that
tell you, it
matters.
was one county up there was blue.
But Lake County's a big county, and we only county that matters. Lake County is about the size of Marion County. Well, it used to be. I don't know about it now.
It's the
I said
second
it's
largest
not
county.
anymore.
It's the second or the third. Fort Wayne might be the second.
We say Fort Wayne's probably more
Fort Wayne's
bigger.
probably
Or
second.
Allen County.
Yeah.
Allen County's probably is bigger than Lake County.
Yeah, I'm trying to minimize Lake County shouting.
Y'all don't stay there.
The whole Northwest was blue, and
Y'all
it
don't
was just
stay
one
there. Y'all
county.
down here.
Hey, call my number, dog. It's gonna always be 219, baby.
Y'all down here now. No need to count.
From the 219, baby.
To the 1 to the 9.
Always.
Y'all going back? No, I'm staying right
But
here.
I don't know, man. Justification happening. I might try to get the crib. Let's start to look nice.
That's funny.
We got beach houses there.
Hey man, so I tell you what.
Yeah.
All right, so I tell you what, guys, man. You know, we can get in all that boat stuff. Really, I'm tired of
Me too.
talking about that.
Me too.
Hey, but I do want to do brews and reviews.
Oh man, I got.
Jeez, you want to talk about brews and reviews? What is it? What
Damn,
we
Bruce
do?
Reviews. Run, go ahead, spill it.
It's the Heavy
It's what?
Hitters rating
Should do better than
system,
me.
and it is a reverse rating system. So, the more brews it takes you to get through something,
Yes.
the worse it is.
I want to talk about Black Klansman, dog.
Is that a movie?
I've never even heard of this.
All right, go.
About what?
You ever seen the Black Klansman?
I think I saw
Black
that.
what?
Oh, it was.
No, I stopped watching
Black
TV
what?
about a
Black
month ago.
Klansman. You never seen the Black
What's it
Klansman?
about?
It's about Black Klansmen.
It's about the police officer from Colorado Springs infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, zero bruise.
It was good?
Oh man, and when you watch it, it's kind of based off what what's happening right now.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Lock it in.
Yes, sir. Yeah, gotta come over. You gotta come a little bit.
Yeah, we in there.
He tagging. We got
All right,
Fron in the building.
Let me ask
Lock
you.
in real quick.
All right, so you said the Black Klansman.
The Black Klansman, dog. It's excellent. Dog.
Hey folks, man, we got the one and the only Fron, man. I tell you what, if you need a loan, or if you want to talk about
He will borrow a dollar.
how to get your money right, you know what I'm saying? If you need to purchase a home,
Well, be specific. We got black people listen to the show, so when you say you need a loan, they might be calling Fron up asking to hold
can
something.
I get a dollar? Can I get five?
Could I hold something?
Put five on. Hey man, hey, so Fron works at a bank, so he's all legit, man. He's trying to make it happen. Hey Fron, what's going on? You
What's
all right?
good with you? How you doing?
Don't be too cool. We in there, so you gotta talk about.
How you doing? How you doing?
Yes, sir. So you saw Black Klansman?
Nah, Well, I got one better now.
Okay.
Zero Bruise, man. The Hate You Give.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I want to see that.
The Hate You
You ain't
Give.
gonna see it.
Why do you guys want to see it after somebody else talks about it? But when I talk about it, it's not cool
No,
enough.
first of all, you said a book. No brothers don't read, so we immediately canceled you out. But yeah, now a movie we can get behind
Oh
that.
my gosh,
Tell you
I
what.
told you it was a movie. You didn't listen.
Not gonna give everything away, but the Hate You Give. I mean, basically talking about a shooting that,
The cop,
just
yeah.
like with Eric Garner, the whole. Well, that wasn't a shooting, but I mean, all the situations that you had, Sandra Bland, everything. This is a depiction of, inexperienced police officer working the streets, turning around, shooting, and killing a young black male, and I believe it was in some parts of Georgia, but the
What if it was in
witness, well, L.A., Georgia, I'm not absolutely sure. The point is that the witness is going through this whole emotional thing, like this emotional roller coaster, because she don't necessarily want to give, talk on it. I mean, it's,
Right.
she post-traumatic stress, the whole 9 yards.
Runner's upset because we enjoy.
I'm really upset because I've already talked about this twice, and I said the exact same
thing
thing.
is, I can see Run beating her eyes.
I get so upset.
Because I am like all into this right now.
Right
And Ron's
now.
like, I talked about this, but like I
Twice.
said,
And
they like,
then-
it's a book we don't read.
3 times actually.
Another thing that's causing like stress or strife. She has outside conflict.
I said all these
One,
things.
with her the environment that she's going to school in. She has 2 white best friends. 2 white best friends. You know what I mean?
3 times I said all
One
this.
is really, just really truthfully want to be her, genuinely want to be her friend. The other one is utilizing the fact of this problem to class, do it saying, "Oh, I'm down for the cause," but really she's
Yeah,
not.
you're not, yeah.
So
Kinda like
she's
Ron.
dealing. So the bystander is actually dealing with that part, and then also on the other side is that she through her father she was connected to a gang, the dope gang, so to
Right,
speak.
right.
And the fact that the individual that she was with was a part of the dope gang, or just got into the dope gang, his boss didn't want her to go and testify for fear that it would be, it would kind of blow up, like bring lights onto her situation. But she wanted to do right by the situation ultimately because that was her.
So basically,
childhood friend.
go in the middle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That seemed very interesting.
Yeah.
I might check that out.
yeah,
Sure.
Zero Bruise, man. It's one of those situations
Sounds
where
like it,
at the end of the day,
I hate you.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I mean, I had to go and shoot the next day, and I'm not to the point because I was so angry, but I mean, it just puts you in a level of awareness of what it is that you need to do and what it is that you should do.
That sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah.
So the main character is a female?
Yeah.
The main
Yeah,
character
star.
is a female. Yes.
So is it a movie that I can take my daughter to?
It is it's one of those situations where you're open minded. It's based off the hood because they're gonna have hood talk. If it's gonna be a derogatory terminology, yes, it's gonna be profane language. But if you can get beyond that and look and appreciate the plot and everything, it is an awesome. It's an awesome story to bring, especially if your child is over 8, between 8 and 13. I wanted to go and take a look at it first before I had my son to take a look at it, and realistically, I want him to go and see this movie because a lot of people nowadays, especially a lot of the millennials nowadays, they really don't have an idea, or they're kind of jaded to the fact that we take care of them so much that they don't know that outside world.
Yeah.
They just know about, hey, I want to be a kid, and hey, I've never experienced racism, or hey, it's not out there. Just because somebody feels a certain way, that's just the fact that they're mad at me. But no, it's something that you really have to focus on just to kind of bring them to the light and then have a conversation. That's the important thing.
That
have a
sound-
conversation
sound really good, don't it?
with your child.
I'm gonna check that
you
out.
know, regardless.
Typically,
Thank you.
culturally, that we miss.
Excuse
we
me?
miss the bar as far
I
as
swear.
having that
What?
discussion
The what, man?
with our children.
I think honestly that, you know, okay, we overcame so much that we start underbidding, and when we underbidded, we ourselves as parents got jaded to the fact of, you know, of what's going on out there, what's beyond, you know, the city limits, you know, how people actually view us and think of us. Everybody want to be down. Everybody loves the culture, but they don't necessarily really understand the culture. You know what I mean?
Because they're not really exposed to the culture.
And then plus they're not exposed until what they see on the media.
I mean, because
or what they hear
it's funny. I
in
had this
music.
conversation just this weekend about
Sure.
how race kind of play a role and stuff. A lot of it is just exposure, man. If you live out in Richmond or in between, let's say Connorsville, like you ain't no black people out there. So you have no you can go your whole life.
Which goes back to the whole thing where the one friend that she's having a conflict with,
Yeah.
you know, she sees what's on the media,
Yeah,
what's
but
mainstream and what's good,
Yeah,
bad, and
so you don't-
different.
you don't
The
know. So,
lingo,
like, even-
you know, her attitude towards it, you know, she thinks that it's just hip and it's cool, but realistically, deep down inside, she feels that, you know, hey, the cop was right in doing what it was that
Yeah,
was
because
taking place.
in their walk of life, the cop is right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, like for us, growing up, you know, I didn't see very many pilgrims at all growing up. Like, I mean, I know it was one, maybe two, three.
Yeah.
One was a buzz down. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we really didn't.
Sorry, what is bust down?
Yeah, when somebody you just bust down. You just it's a hood rat.
And so the urban translation for bust down is
A hole.
That is the urban
outstanding.
But yeah, so I didn't have exposure. So I went to college. That word again. I've been trying to get off of it. So
Did you literally go to college?
Until I went to college, and then I was exposed. I was exposed. No, I was exposed to a bunch of Mexicans. So I went from like black to like 95% Hispanic.
Right.
And the only brothers out there was on the team. That was it. It was like, I went from one extreme, then it's like, I went to HBCU.
But
After that, and it was like,
kind of reinforced the
again,
point.
it was like all.
It reinforced the point from a different perspective that, you know, being that we came from where we came from, you know what I mean? Coming down here, it was a whole new world. I didn't understand when I looked left and right in a classroom full of 45 folks that, you know, let's say about 28 of the 45 are of Caucasian persuasion.
Hey, Franz, so when you say coming down here, are you not from Indianapolis?
No, I'm originally from Gary, Indiana, born and raised.
Outstanding. So that's why Lake County, there's no one there anymore. You're all here.
They're all here.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, it's what's turning in.
And what's crazy is like
You're all here.
as I was explaining to the person this weekend, I said when you were black, you essentially live two lives. You live the lives around your friends, and then you got a work life.
Yeah.
Hey, but by the way, man, the guy on the couch is here too, folks.
The guy on the couch.
He ain't married a man.
Solomon Grundy.
Yes.
Yeoman Johnson.
Yeoman Johnson.
Give us your call sign. You remember it?
Yeah, absolutely, I remember it, man.
That's one of my favorite things. That's one of my favorite things from back in the early days, man. All right, hey guys, Heavy Ears Radio, man. You listening, man? We got the usual suspects.
The usual
there,
suspects.
We got a little bougie in there too, man. He's in there.
Bear down,
Yeah, he's up in there, man. He's up in there. He's making it happen in here. And so, hey, let me tell you guys. So we've talked sports and politics
your
and all the stuff,
Bruce reviews.
all the stuff we haven't been talking about. So I'm talking about my Bruce reviews, and guess what it is?
Daredevil.
It's Lock Up, the Raw. Lock Up Raw, man. It's on Netflix, man. That is a good show. And I'm gonna tell you something. They've been in Indiana. They've been in Wabash Correctional Facility in Indiana. It's one of the toughest prisons in the country. They've been down there in Maricopa County, down in what has them wearing
Michigan
pink.
Walmart's considered one of the toughest places.
It is. It is.
I thought Michigan City was like the toughest.
It is. No. Well, it wasn't no lockup. These are all the toughest ones. So, down in Arizona, where the guy went to wear pink underwear and all
Oh
that.
yeah.
Just be quiet.
They were on there. They were all on there. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Prison life. So I'm learning so much about like how they live in there, man. It's fascinating to me. So they have these things called spreads. So they take some ramen noodles, right, with some hot water, put it in a bag. Well, it's a spread. Spread's different than a slam.
You say spread?
Spread, yes. So they take the ramen,
I thought that
warm
was
it
something
up,
else
and then
in
once they
prison.
get it warm, they put some sauces in there, and they might mix it with some popcorn and some other stuff. You know what I mean? Then they spread it out like on plastic, whatever, on the table, and they get to add stuff to it, man. And then they eat it like in kind of like burritos or something. And they'll have like a family dinner with other cats in there, right? And it's called a spread, and they have all different kinds, man. The one dude made a cake.
Water and
Why he said it was his birthday,
ramen
right?
noodles?
It was his born day. No. So
Oh.
he took. Okay, so the hottest things they like, man, are honey buns. Honey buns is a big staple, right? Honey buns and ramen noodles. So when they make dessert, dude took 2 honey buns. Then he took a mixture of peanut butter and Snickers bars and some cereal and crushed it all up, mixed it all together. He spread it all out, and then he took the chocolate off of a Snicker bar, crumbled up the Snicker bar, and put that on top. And he took the chocolate, melted it down, and spread that over the whole thing, and made a birthday cake. And made a birthday cake, dog.
Nothing but time.
Yeah, and I mean, and
think that much about his alibi.
the guys was watching, and he was and even the people was like, I've never seen this much focus from a person. He was like, well, before I got in here, he's only 18. He was like, I wanted to be a chef, that's what I wanted to do, so I'm into it. But he made this elaborate cake, and and then they cut it up, and served it to everybody and stuff, man, it's a birthday. And I was like, damn, like these cats are really doing it in there, man. So
What's it
anyway,
called?
It's a level.
if you ever get a chance, man, watch the Lock Up Raw. Lock Up Raw, and it has a little bit of everything in there, man. Working out, matter of fact, right now they talking about working out, and these guys are guys and women are working out everywhere on everything, man. If you see them, like they're just specimens, some of them.
That's crazy.
Some of them, man. So yeah, so check it out. All right, guys, Avery Israel Show. So I'll give it 0 bruise, by the way. 0 bruise, man, for Lock Up Raw.
Where
one
can we see it?
spread.
Huh?
Where can we see it?
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
What
Lock
is it?
Up Raw. It's called Lock Up Raw
Oh,
on
I love
Netflix.
Lock Up. I watched that
On
before it was
Netflix,
on
man.
Netflix.
And some of the stories, man, these people from Shelbyville, like we're in Indiana, they from all over Indiana. They in Ohio, they're in Cuyahoga County, they in Cincinnati, and when they're in the jails. When they're in the jails, it's crazy, man. It's really good. It's
Bad
good.
thing about
like
that,
when you like cleaning up or something, and you got it on.
Yeah,
It's one of
yeah.
them type of deals.
It's one of those situations where, in a different life, in a different world, you sit and you watch other people being locked up, and that's the thing, And with me, I never did understand it. So with me, when I was there,
Yes.
and I'll leave it at that. But when I was there, you have all the youngsters go over there. It's like, oh, this is on. Turn the channels, and everybody's sitting there watching it intently. Besides BET videos,
Right.
I guess that's how they kept up. But you have a bunch of people that's locked up, looking at locked up, and laughing. And I was like, where is this mentality
disconnect?
going?
Yeah.
What
You
is so
locked up
much-
watching Locked Up.
A lot of them said that, by the way, Fran. A lot of them said, well, I watch the show. It's one of our favorite shows. We watch it all the time. What? Man, what? And some of the people are coming in and out. So they're there for like a year or two at a certain facility, right? And these people get out and then get back in, and get out and get back in sometimes.
Right.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Come back in, but I missed episode 4.
Yeah, you know what? They talked about that. I mean, it's an amazing show, man. I never.
It's an amazing
matter of
show,
fact,
but
when
it
it was
kinda
out, like it was on the MSNBC, I think at some point, right? CC, I think. When that you talk about MSNBC, oh no, you talking about Fox News. It was
Well,
on MSNBC at
yeah.
some point. I never saw it then.
You can still catch it. You can still catch it, but I refuse to look at it for that reason. You know what I mean? Because at that point in time, you know, it's kind of, if you look at it from the outside, it's kind of sad. It's a thing that's known as recidivism.
Yeah.
So, you know, recidivism is where you go and turn around and, you know, you get out, you've been institutionalized for however long, you go out, you know, you already have strikes against you, you're not allowed to vote, you're not allowed to go and do a lot of
Now
things.
you can.
Now you can. Well, now they're working on it.
In Florida.
It's not until, you know what I'm saying, but once you get back in, you know, it's less like, okay, you go out to get back in. You go out to be back in.
Yeah.
The society
Let
is...
me ask you this. Let
What's
me
up?
ask you this real quick.
What's
So,
up?
as I was watching that, man, one of the things I noticed is that a lot of those kids, there was one storyline that was from the Cuyahoga County Correctional Facility. And
Over in
all
Ohio.
And it's out in Cleveland, it's a
Okay.
good city.
Ohio.
And so here's what was happening. So these children were incarcerated, and their families weren't any good. This whole deal. And so this gang spun out of that called the Heartless Felons.
Okay.
The Heartless Felons. And so now these guys are growing up in the youth correctional facility, and it so happens that the leader of the Heartless Felons was in the jail waiting his trial, and his little brother that was next in line was turned 18 in juvenile jail, and they moved his ass right over to the big boy jail on his 18th birthday.
That's crazy.
On his 18th birthday, they moved him to the big jail. And, you know, he's like, and his brother was like, well, I told him not to say he didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. And then going forward, he ended up getting like 14 year sentence for paralyzing this kid. So he paralyzed this 15-year-old kid that he shot. They got 14 years. His family's all sad and everything. And I thought to myself, damn, man, like his brother said, I tried to help him. And he didn't want to help. He didn't want me to help him. So I started teaching him the game so he could be safe and make money.
Yeah. It's all about, I mean, if you think about it from the example that you laid, and then, you know, some of the other things, it's all about survival. You know what I mean? You know, they making birthday cakes and doing things because that's the level of normalcy for them. You know, actually it's normalcy for everybody. But realistically, in the grand scheme of things, it's more survival. So to really understand exactly what it is that you're seeing, because everybody can look at it and say, oh, this is just entertainment. No. There has to be something. There has to be a true rehabilitation model that's out there that's going to go and help people.
How much does that cost?
How much does it cost? I put it to you like this. For the rehabilitation model, a lot of society now looks for the easy dollar. If it's easy, if it's more marketable to lock you up and make money off of you for the state by grants or whatever it is that they're receiving from federal institutions, state institutions, what have you, private institutions, they don't ultimately they don't care, man. They don't care. You know, so
at the federal level,
you know,
it's no longer an institutional model.
You know, and it's longer. You know, that's it's almost a new cycle.
At the federal level, about 20 years ago, they decided rehabilitation don't work. We're not even trying.
Right.
State and below, there's a little bit of, if you want to call it, hope for that. But federal, it's officially no real good rehabilitation.
We're just holding you here.
Huh?
We're just gonna hold you here.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna work. We're gonna make money off it.
I mean, that's why prisons were created.
Well,
Why is that?
Slavery ended, and so prisons were created so that people could again have slaves.
Yes.
Who's they?
The white supremacists.
They're locked up too. If you watch Lock Up, they're locked up too.
Well, okay, so
Those are the white supremacists. Those are the soldiers.
Not at the rate. Not at the rate.
And then-
Not at the same rate.
Okay.
You're right.
And
I mean,
that's
the statistics are
when,
insane.
When Reconstruction happened, when slavery ended, Reconstruction happened or whatever, it was two things that was created. The prison system as we know it now, and this apprenticeship.
Yep.
So you can snatch somebody's kid that used to work on your farm or whatever, be like, this is my apprentice. Boom, he's back into slavery. You can jaywalk, and they can be like, can't get him. He's in prison. We're going to give him 25 years to life. Jaywalking, because your jaywalking ended up killing this bird, and this bird was a state bird. And now you in jail for, I mean, dead serious.
That's
Yo,
true.
you're right. Yeah.
Now you locked up.
A major example, to piggyback on what you're saying, the major example is in the 80s when the drug game was institutionalized. When they dropped the drug game in the hood, man, it's crazy how things spread like wildfire. You got guys that's out there making money, surviving, not being able to have a good, honest paying wage, and doing this out of the strength of hustle. You hear it up in during the golden age of hip hop. That's all you hear. You know what I'm saying? I ended the dope game to do X, Y, Z. And then get in. Some people get in, some people get out, some people get in and stay in. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, it's one of those situations where you can be, you're not going to be anything but a number and a dollar sign at the end of the day.
Speaking of numbers, here's some fun incarceration rates. You ready? Mm-hmm. White people are 64% of the United States population. They are 4.5% of incarcerated people. Black Americans are 13% of the U.S. population. They are 23% of the incarcerated people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I see a disproportionality.
You said are you sure? Are you sure there's a disproportionality?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, and it starts in elementary school, which is a high horse I could continue
All right, so
preach about.
we got to move on from that. Hey, so guys, you listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show, and I tell you what, man. Sometimes we get a little serious, sometimes we get a little goofy. But I will tell you that, you know, a lot of folks around the table, man, are about helping people. I mean, if you look at the group that we have, man, we can secure your home.
Yep.
We can work with your children.
Yep.
Both in school and in the community.
Yep.
We can secure a loan for your home.
Yep.
We can help you financially. I mean, even in this small group, it's very, very powerful. However, here's what happens is that it's not easily put together so that it's a
monetized.
So it's very cohesive for community. Hey, but we do put out the information. And by the way, you can check us out on Twitter at Heavy Hitters
__
And then we're also on all kind of other stuff. I tell you what, Ron, where else can you catch us?
We are also on Instagram and Facebook at Heavy Hitters Radio Show.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to us live, check us out on Spreaker.com. If you want to listen to us not live, whatever
All
that
the other
is,
stuff. So you can check
then you
us
can
out.
go anywhere that you find a
YouTube,
podcast.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys. So I took the Little C to a barbershop in Lafayette Square Mall, and it was called oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it's in Lafayette Square Mall, and Grindle works there.
Wow.
Grindle works there. He's known as 6ix9ine the Barber. Grindle works there. He's known as 6ix9ine the Barber. But anyway, he works there, and Dr. Phil the Barber cuts Lil C's hair, and his daughter is doing a fashion show. Her name is Tanya Burgess, and her clothing line is called That Girl. THATGURL, That Girl. Her fashion show is 11/11/18 at Custom Creations, Lafayette Square Mall. Again, it's Tanya Burgess, That Girl, 11/11/18. So that's Saturday?
Next Sunday.
It's Sunday at Custom Creation in Lafayette Square Mall. So if you have daughters, you should take them to this fashion show. I told these guys that I would talk about them on our show, and that's what we're doing. And then I hit up Phil, Dr. Phil, the master barber, and got some information from him. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up his. I'm trying to look up and see where the heck that barbershop is. It's at Lafayette Square Mall, and it is called.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say, brothers need to step that game up on that barbershop stuff, man. I'm telling you.
What's that mean? What do you mean?
There's people coming for them, man.
Dominicans, boy.
Dominicans is coming for brothers in the barbershop.
Okay. Just that style.
I mean, just the level, the
level of groom you get for the money you spend. I'm talking about the exfoliation, the eyebrow arching, the face massage.
It's called the Art of Man, by the way. The Art of Man Barbershop. The Art of Man. The Art of Man in Lafayette Square, man. That's where the little C gets his haircut. And again, check out the fashion show 11/11/18. That girl. Are you trying to hurry me up? Seriously?
That's what it looked like.
No, I was.
What age of girls is she aiming for, man?
They're little. She's in high school. So middle school on up.
Middle school. Okay.
Yeah, middle school on up. Yeah. That girl. GURL. THATDURL. Hey, so all right, guys. So we gotta do two things real quick before we go on the short show. Big Gates hit us up. And he liked. What's the name of that movie you guys are talking about?
Black Klansman.
No, The Hate You Give. The Hate You Give. Big Gates.
I bet it's an amazing movie.
Don't knock it over, Emily.
Big Gates gave his. He definitely gave his approval, man. Also, follow Candy, the Candy Show. Last week she had Cut Close. You already remember Cut Close?
Yeah.
I do not remember that.
Yeah,
Right. And so Candy, who is a friend of our show, did an interview with them. She did an interview.
I
with
know
them.
everybody get interviews with us.
Do I not know them because of my race or my age?
Probably both.
Both.
A little bit of D, yeah.
Dang it.
And by the way, Big Gates, don't worry about it. Big Gates is gonna text like 3 hours later. Hey man, it's not about you, man. We love you, but we don't talk about you all the time, Big Gates. All right, guys. So now it's winter and all the holidays are coming up.
Oh
Right?
shit! It's officially cuffing season too.
Well, it's way in the middle. It's started already.
We're deep into cuffing season.
It's way started already.
I bet you like the deep
Hey, this is that.
The regular season has started.
Your old dudes from years ago calling you up.
They coming back.
No, you get that. Hey,
I just had a random person talk to me about cuffing season today. It was very uncomfortable.
That text.
you
Hey.
get that. Hey,
Hey, big head. That's what it is.
WYD.
hey, who is this?
Right.
So
Not
is
even
cuffing
full
season-
words.
Is cuffing season the equivalent to the playoffs or is it the regular season?
It's the regular
Well,
season.
No, this is like preseason.
It's a
we're out of preseason.
it's a full season. It's a full season. So 2 months ago was like the combine, right? It was the combine, and so then in October,
This is the regular season.
in October, right? Well, but that was October. So October they had the team meetings, and then the draft happened, right? In October, end of October.
So yeah, this is like the regular season.
And so now, like you should be real close to being in full swing.
In full swing, yo.
Because you think about it, there's only 2 weeks to Thanksgiving. Right. You got 2.5 weeks of Thanksgiving, and then you gotta cruise through
So
Thanksgiving.
this like almost near the trade deadline.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, trade deadline's beginning of December.
Okay.
Yeah, because before Christmas you gotta you gotta get somebody new.
And then you make the playoff push in
And then you
January.
make the playoff push, and then come March,
Free
You
agency.
gotta let people know that it
That's
is
right.
early
Yeah,
in the
then
season.
March come free agency.
Like each week, there are playoff implications.
This season counts every week.
Every day, every week's a playoff.
It's like football. It's like football.
Any given Sunday, you can either win.
Exactly.
Don't get demoted to the practice squad.
And so you must understand.
So it's like kickers. Like,
And then you know when it's over, right?
Any day. When's it over?
Yeah. So when it's over, you get 2 70-degree days in a row. It's officially over. At that point, it's sundress season and it's done.
It's real easy.
Even when it happens in February.
I know global warming make the season shorter.
That was amazing. And did you hear that? So if you have a what's called Indian summer?
Yeah.
If you have an Indian summer, that's the All-Star break in cuffing season. It's like you kind of lose your brain a little bit, and you come back with, hey, what's up?
No, All Stars around Valentine's Day.
That's what I'm saying.
That is All-Star Weekend.
But do you count Mac Month?
Please tell us more.
Between King's birthday and Valentine's Day.
Mac
Players,
Month.
that's Mac Month.
Okay.
Mac Month.
Yeah, scoop me on that one, young man.
I'm not familiar.
Oh, my boy. Well, I think we're actually in the 27th year of Mac Month. Think about it. That's the players' paradise. Everybody wants to have a special Valentine's Day.
Oh, and hold
Yeah.
on, and it's around tax time.
Preach. It's around tax time, King holiday. Everybody wants that special 214. Yep.
I understand. I don't know, man.
It's winter go home month.
Winter go home. March Madness. It's March Madness. Hey, you know what the championship day is, right? March 23rd.
Is that Steak and BJ Day?
That is exactly right, Ron.
See,
Look, I already knew.
That's the championship.
let's move on, yo.
That's the championship.
This is good, man.
Is that the first
His face was like,
It's March 23rd.
his
No,
face was like,
it's
absolutely
not what it
right. Like, hey, hopefully you better ever forget.
I don't think so. Hey, anyway. Hey, guys, Heavy Radio Show. I think we're back. We're back to normal. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Hey, all right, so real quick, man. It's Mount Rushmore time. You guys ready?
All right, here we go.
You guys ready for Mount Rushmore time? Everybody ready?
I don't know what that means.
And you're going to do your 4
In a row.
in a row. You're not going
Oh,
to
yes.
wait.
Yes. Okay, I'm all
Mount
about it.
Rushmore 4 in a row.
What's
Of
I'm
what?
springing on you.
All right, go ahead.
You guys ready?
All
Can
right.
I go last?
No.
Damn it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It's going to be Jesus, explain what Mount Rushmore
Mount Rushmore is basically your top
That's
four.
what got y'all guys fired up, and then you're like, damn.
Yeah.
Should have gave it to us first.
Such a letdown.
Yeah.
Gave us time to think
Nope,
about
you
it.
know, exactly. That's what I'm
You
doing.
give your top four for no matter what topic we pick. You know, you got your top 4 Mount Rushmore.
No repeats, right?
We got floaties in there.
Yeah. I like
Hey,
those.
I'm gonna tell you right now. So I really enjoyed.
That's disgusting, GC.
I really enjoyed
They
I
float
heard
black
that.
They
movies.
from the water.
Last time we did Mount Rushmore, we did black
Movies. All right, so what you got this time?
and I really enjoyed that. All right, guys.
So what you got this week?
All right.
This makes me happy that you remember
I'm
Mount
I do.
nervous.
This is a new segment of the show.
I'm nervous.
Because even when your man son took over, like that was like
I
8.
I am mad
They
today,
went
though. I would
forever,
like to
never,
do
never.
that.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, you ready? Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
So you got to pick your
My heart is
top
racing.
4.
I'm so
4.
nervous.
I'm going back again.
Okay.
Gangster movies.
Bullshit.
Gangster movies. I like to go first.
No
No,
repeats.
you. No.
I can't go first.
I'm the pilgrim. I get to
can't
go
do that.
first.
No repeats.
I'm the pilgrim. I get to go
Oh
first.
wow, no
Who said-
repeat.
and so, did you realize we just talked about slavery and all that other
No
stuff?
repeat.
Yes.
If you say it, I can't
You
say
can't
it.
say it.
Correct.
That's why I want to go first because I think I only know 3.
Are you guys ready?
Okay, go
All
ahead.
right.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Bugsy Malone. See, if I go
Yeah,
first, you guys may-
trust me, none of yours.
Can I
I'm a
ask
man
a
of a certain
clarifying
age.
All right,
question?
so we going clockwise. Go ahead.
Usual suspect.
Can I ask
Okay.
a clarifying question
ahead.
momentarily?
Okay.
Yes.
What constitutes a gangster movie?
No, we know what? We want to save it. We want to hear
When
yours.
somebody says it,
Okay.
if it's a group and they say, "Oh, that's not a gangster movie," then I got to
Yeah, that's how you know if it's a game.
Try again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna save my best for the last one.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm gonna say Pulp Fiction is a gangster movie.
Okay. Okay.
Right? I'm gonna say
Okay.
Pulp Fiction is a gangster movie. And I just took one of the fries. And guess what
they
else?
actually did.
What else?
And guess what else, man? One of my favorite movies of all time. It's my 4th one, by the way. Right? It's my 4th one, and it's one of my favorite movies of all
Only your
time. It's my 4th. I said Bugsy Malone, right?
Pulp
The
Fiction.
Usual Suspect.
Oh. I didn't know that was a movie. I thought that went along with your sentence.
And
Sorry.
then I want to talk about Mr. Pink and Mr. Green, Mr.
You're
Red,
just going all Quentin Tarantino? Is that
Mr.
what
Black. No, I'm just saying.
You did 3 of them.
I'm just saying.
Tarantino movies.
I did do
Reservoir
three
All
Tarantino.
right. For me, mine's real simple. I got Heat,
That a metric clock.
Robert De Niro.
That's a good one. We're telling
I got
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas is a great one. I was gonna say that too.
I got Casino.
Always wanted to be
Outstanding.
And for my favorite one. I said it last week. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back, man. Paid in Full, man.
There you go.
Paid in Full is like one of my favorite gangster movies.
Outstanding, man. CC,
All right, here we
it's
go.
Mount Rushmore time. What's your favorite
Well,
film?
I gotta start off. I'm basically cheating. I think these should have been left out, but Godfather. I think we should exclude him.
We gonna say Godfather 1, 2, and 3.
No, I'm only gonna use one.
And then Carlito's Way.
No. That is a good one though. Boondock Saints.
Nice.
Yes.
Don't get into
I can't think of the name of this movie, and I just thought of it.
Please
It's the
don't.
Nero and Pacino. It's where Pacino's the crooked cop. And he's yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm still thinking Heat.
they're both.
Oh, they're both cops. And then
But Pacino's crooked, and De Niro has to bust them.
That's the bust.
Partners. I can't think of that one. But
That's a good movie.
The Departed is my last one.
Oh,
Yes.
Monsky. You know what we're doing right now? What'd you say?
Hoodlum.
Hoodlum, nice.
I got this one. I got all y'all this one. A Bronx Tale.
Nice.
That was
Folks, the Mount Rushmore, Monsky's up. Top 4 gangster movies.
Oh, yeah, two
You got
more.
Gangs of New York. Does that count?
That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's a dope movie.
Old school.
That's a dope. Man, number 4. I'm trying not to come with something like new, like you know what I'm saying.
It don't have to be. See, I go way back.
Man,
I can't wait to do. I'm gonna give you guys a hint, and I want some good ones. The next time we get together, I'm going to do black exploitation movies.
I'll just go ahead and do.
Tell people.
What was Denzel's movie?
Not right now.
What was Denzel's movie?
Oh, Training Day?
No, not Training
Oh,
Day.
Original Gangster.
Original Gangster.
American.
Original Gangster.
Original Gangster.
That's a good one.
Righteous Kill was the name of the movie.
Yeah,
I was
Righteous
talking
Kill.
about.
Yeah,
All right, Fran, you up, man?
man, y'all got damn near every last one of them. Oh boy, let's see. If there was one that wasn't mentioned, was
You guys, you know what makes this game hard is that we're all. The reason we can hang out is because we got similar tastes. That's what makes the game so difficult.
yeah, we do have similar tastes.
Right.
I was thinking Hoodlum.
Except for Run.
I was thinking Hoodlum. Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis. That was a great movie. It was a great movie. If there was another one, I would probably say Heat.
But you can't use
You
it.
said that.
But I can't use it.
You already said that. Gangster movies, man. You got 3 more, right?
Set it off.
Set it off. Okay.
What is it?
Set it off.
Okay, yeah.
The Town.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It's a good
It's
movie.
really good.
The Town was good.
Whose car are we taking? I love it. It's a great movie.
And the last one is Godfather 3.
There you go.
Okay.
By the way, guys, just to put this out there, it's a bonus round. If Run can name I never said my third movie. I just named characters in it and all you knew.
Yeah.
can run name what the name of the movie is for us around the
She didn't know
shop.
Usual Suspects was a movie.
I didn't. No, but I feel confident that I have 2 gangster movies.
All right.
No, I have no idea.
Who the
Anybody else?
character?
Can anybody else name it?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Not you.
Reservoir
Blue.
Dogs.
Yes.
That's what you were talking
No,
about.
I've never heard of such a thing. But I feel confident in 2 of my
All right,
answers.
go ahead.
Man on Fire.
Caught in the middle.
Fron, did you do?
Whoa, bro. Sorry. So, okay, Man on Fire for gangster movie. All in favor?
Takes
All
his
in
hands
favor?
to his fingers off.
Is that
That's a gangster movie. You're just picking on
He was a
me.
good guy.
He was a good guy.
It's only one guy. It's not a game.
Training
Do I get
Day.
a bonus? It's only one
Yes.
guy.
Training Day's a
Absolutely.
gangster.
James, that's gangster movie.
Man
Okay.
on Fire is still a gangster movie.
No.
You got one.
You got 3 more.
Bad Boys 2.
You say that every week.
It's gonna fit
It's gonna
somewhere.
be a Bad Boys 3.
It's gonna fit somewhere.
The Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys 2 is not
That's
a
all I
gangster.
had. That's all I had.
Bad.
That's all I had.
She said Bad Boys 2 is a gangster movie.
She said Bad Boys 1 was a black movie. Bad Boys 1 was a black movie.
switch on mine?
Wait a minute, bro.
Can I do a switch?
Bro, you never seen Italian Job?
It's on right now.
My birthday Saturday.
I got
Well, I got one. I feel pretty good about that.
I tell you what, Fron, if you want to throw, if you want to throw,
Like throw mine in.
that's what you take. You're a good
Give
guy.
it a good.
It's because Jesus said clockwise and then he went counterclockwise.
I know, right?
He doesn't know how to tell
I got three.
All right, go ahead, Jay. What you got?
All
What
right,
you
go
got?
down
Solomon?
the couch here. Put it up there. Solomon Grundy.
Who?
Scarface.
Outstanding Scarface. Yeah.
Godfather Part 2, which is actually my absolute favorite.
Y'all crack me up. Godfather. I'll
Godfather
take
Part 2,
Godfather.
but Godfather Part 2 was a great movie.
Mother
I'll
Wire.
give you that.
Best movie. Let's see.
You had plenty of time to have all these other.
Because everybody took mine. I thought he had a Bronx Tale. He took my Bronx
that's
Tale.
the
He
fun
took my
part.
joint suit.
This is. I got three. I need to switch out. I just gotta switch out. I'm
Everybody say Carlito's Way?
Nobody said.
No,
Carlito.
mentioned it, but
He
it wasn't
mentioned
what
it.
it is.
Yeah, mentioned it.
I've not ever even
Carlito's
heard
Way.
of most of these movies.
Was it Carlito's Way? Yeah.
Carlito's Way. Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco. Dilly.
That's a good
Forget
one.
about it.
And last but not least, man, Lil Boo.
Lil Boo.
Are you on your phone?
No, my phone's dead.
All right.
So what you got?
King of New York.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
Then I get to get the farting bastards, Johnny Dangerous. I gotta go with Johnny Dangerous.
You know, that's a classic, man.
That's a classic.
Can I please just say that I was thinking of Elephantitis of the Nuts. Remember that was in that movie when they had elephantitis? You guys remember that? I thought about that. He's got elephantitis of the nuts. All right, anyway, go ahead.
Hey, this
Let me say it out loud. Sorry, guys.
I got 3 honorable mentions.
What else? What was the other one?
I gotta go with another one.
Yes.
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights. That was a gangster movie.
I was just watching that before I left the house too.
Very
One you
good.
gotta think about. City Hall.
That was good.
Is that a
That was
gangster
good.
movie?
Yes, it is.
I never
Politician
seen it.
gangsters.
I never seen it.
And
So
they was
who's
tied
your
in
from?
with,
Okay.
And what was the other movie besides Hulu?
Bonus
that,
3.
That
Bonus 3.
Lawrence Stone called me Larry Fishburne played Bumpy Johnson. Played
Oh!
Bumpy Johnson in 2 movies. I can't think of the name of it. That's what I needed the phone for. That one was
But he played Bumpy in something else too.
it's something else.
He did.
Yeah, he played it in 2 different movies.
Yeah.
Hoolum was just about Bumpy, but it was another
He
one.
played in something else,
And I
man.
can't
What's the
remember.
name
That
of
would have been
that?
my number 4. I can't think of the name of it.
All right, Fron, you about to explode if you don't say your other 3, man.
From back for the
Three
encore.
honorable mentions.
Bonus 3, yeah.
Sicario.
Oh yeah.
I never saw it.
This is Sicario?
The first one.
Yeah.
The first one. The first one was yeah. Sicario was on the chain.
Two.
That's the one with Stallone.
No, that's Thanos was in it.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro.
I never
Sicario.
saw that. All right, who else?
Desperado.
That's
Yes, that's another classic.
Gangster movie though.
It is Mexican mob.
Yeah, that's good.
That's gangster.
Yeah, with the guitars and
The Road to Perdition.
I heard of that, but I didn't see
Oh, with
Redemption.
Tom,
Yeah.
Tom Hanks. Yeah, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is a
Yeah,
man.
with Tom Hanks. That was actually
Oh,
good.
that came from John Wick.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about John Wick. I didn't even think about
Hey
that.
guys, let me tell you what, man. Heavy Hits Radio Show.
John Wick, wait,
Hey, that's a fun little game we call
Right.
Mount Rushmore.
You ain't like,
I just want to say that of all those movies we named, other than my three, I
You ain't named two.
I named 3 movies. One just didn't count. 2 just didn't count. But
Students.
2 didn't count.
What about the substitute?
Listen, of all those movies named, I only have seen
Fist
one
fight.
of them that was not mine.
Right.
Fist Fight was a gangster movie.
Don't drink.
Ice Cube's in it.
Don't be a menace
Is
about
that,
drinking your
is that that
juice.
movie?
You see how she picks movies? Well, it must be a gangster movie because Ice Cube is in it, which means Barbershop's a gangster movie.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? It's a gangster movie. And an episode of Sesame Street when he was talking to Elmo and friends becomes a gangster movie.
Straight Outta Compton. That's my 4th.
That could have been.
One gangster in that movie.
Okay, but of all the
No,
movies named, I've
Charlie
only
Compton
seen
was a
one.
gangster movie.
What is that?
Charlie Compton wasn't a gangster movie.
Yeah, Ice Cube was in it.
No, you're right. No, it was not.
Oh,
It was a musical bio.
I haven't seen it anyway, so I can't count it.
Ice Cube, man.
It was a long episode of Behind the Music.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Hey man, Heavy Hits Radio Show. This is Mississippi
I
Big House,
forgot
man.
Viggo Mortensen.
We got
Viggo Mortensen.
mad
the Eastern
people
Bloc.
in there, man, kind of doing our thing. Jeezy,
The
I
Eastern
tell you
Bloc,
what,
the
real
Russian
quick,
Mafia.
what you gonna do? We're gonna end with Tell Me Why You Mad, Son.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna, and I tell you what, we'll probably just do the heavy hitters, and if anybody else has anything going, sound good?
All right.
All right, you want to start then?
Yeah, man. No, again, last week we had 2 weeks ago we had an epic.
We
Tell
were
us why you're
very
mad.
And we
mad.
can't go like it's time. We got to
Yeah,
time.
so
this thing.
so for me,
Tell me why you mad, son.
I'm mad, son. All right.
I'm mad because I got floaties in every drink I have. Every drink that I've had so far.
Well,
has
obviously the issue is you.
It could be me. I don't have no mother left to make it to be.
I'll run you up for I can't think of
Okay, so let me tell you why I'm mad. I think that daylight savings time is the stupidest thing ever. I would prefer the sun not to set at 5:15 so that I'm ready for bed by 7 p.m. It's stupid, and no one can explain the reason why, and we should just stay on the same time. No, that's false, because that's not even a thing anymore. It's winter!
That's what it was for.
That's what it was for.
But then it went away for a long time.
Down with
What was his name?
I didn't
The
start
governor.
voting until
Who's the
Obama
governor?
got put into office.
Who's the governor?
Wow.
My first
Mitch
election.
Was the vote against Obama?
I don't think so, because my first election was when Obama got elected the first
John
time.
McCain, Sarah Palin.
I can see Russia from my backyard.
She
I know
for
that.
sure
much.
voted for Sarah Palin.
Said that.
No, but her daughter's on Teen Mom. Anyway, that's besides the
What?
point. I think Bristol Palin's on Teen.
That's
She's
hilarious.
on Teen Mom OG, and she is not an OG. She was not on the original show, and it makes me
Is
mad.
that the name of the show? Look, real quick, we are all blown away. We're all blown away. Is there really a show called Teen Mom?
Yes, as Macy and Amber. Remember,
Where is
Amber
it?
and Gary are from Anderson. They
I watched the first Team Mom. You,
You guys
the
don't
OG
get it.
show.
They are the first ones. We're just continuing the story.
Are they still teens?
Hey, no, they
No,
can't be
they're
now.
continuing their story. I just said
You
that.
know what you gotta watch? You guys, by the way, here's another one.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta watch Tom Segura. Tom Segura, man, has a really funny comedy on Netflix. Tom Segura, and he talks about Teen Mom. This other guy talks about Teen Mom show, and it's very, very funny. So
All right,
I'm
I'm tell you why I'm mad, bro.
why you mad? Son?
Why you mad, son?
I don't understand when dudes don't understand guy code.
Hey, man.
Okay, there are certain things that you just don't speak upon when the opposite sex of representation is present. We don't discuss those things at all. Like, it don't come up. There are things on this show that we don't discuss, and Ron's been here for 3 years or 2 years, and we don't talk about it because it's man
like that time
law.
you-
Yeah, it's man law. Yo. It's man law. When the missus walk in the room, you hush, you quiet. You enjoy the game, and then when they leave, you start talking again. Man, law. You never. One of the main laws, and my man Solomon Grundy, will understand this. You never speak on another man's business, ever. It is not to be discussed. What that man do in his house, is his business. You don't get involved in domestic anything. You don't get involved. I don't care if it's your brother. I'm not telling him that his wife cheated. It ain't my business. It ain't my place. I ain't getting in.
I think women are better at it. Women are better at it than men.
What?
Like a woman will keep a secret way better than a man.
Only if we like you. I'm only keeping your secret if I like you.
No. What I mean is, you can get your girl to tell you the secret. I'm not telling us secret.
Hey, you know what? All those gangster movies we're talking about, most of them got taken down through pillow talk.
Yeah, we don't do pillow talk, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, and also, if you ain't got dirt on you, I can't trust you, dog. If you too clean,
American politics.
I can't trust you, dog. If you ain't got a little dirt on you, dog, like I can't be all the way with you.
That's just like I don't trust nobody that don't eat a hot dog. If you don't eat a hot dog, I can't trust you. Period.
I wish you could see our face right now, folks. Like there were several interesting faces. Can you please elaborate?
Yes, please. I think we all was
You got to
like,
be down with nitrates to be down with you.
Look, he just like totally straight face,
If you
too.
don't eat, man, I'm from Gary, Indiana.
that's
Gutter.
true. That's true.
We ate a whole lot of hot dogs.
That's true.
If you talking about, man, I want a soy dog.
Eat them cold.
I can't rock with you.
Yeah, but like, does it count if it's a corn dog? Does it count if it's a corn dog?
Real
A hot
talk.
dog?
Yeah, there's a hot dog wrapped in
If I've been a
cornbread.
dude and you don't like sports,
yes.
you can't be friends.
Okay.
I definitely can't trust you. The sports teach you everything about like team, all that kind of stuff. If you ain't on no team, you ain't into sports, I'm cool.
Really?
Yeah, we can't talk.
So what if it's a guy and he likes reading?
Yeah, we're not friends.
GC already said that brothers don't read.
That's not true.
That's what he said, though. Those were his words.
It's some.
I'm just repeating them.
There's always an exception to the rule.
I had a question for you real quick, Ron. When you say brothers, why'd you go? Brothers.
I felt like I needed to
There's only one
enunciate.
A.
Right, the Moscato put the extra Z on the end of that.
I felt like I needed to enunciate it
It's-
because it's not a brother.
Hey, speaking of that, I want to
brother.
say it's been 25 years since Wu-Tang came out with the first album.
That's true.
Today, man, Wu-Tang, man, Supreme, man. Hey, I give it to him, man. That's my jam. And by the way, Low End Theory? No, Low End Theory was the second one. Well, what's the first? No, I'm talking about the first Q-Tip and then the Tribe Called Quest. The first Tribe Called Quest album also came out today. But most people, if he was in my clique, he was listening to Wu-Tang. You didn't really, you didn't mess with that until later. I was late. I was late.
Tribe Called Quest came out in like 91.
Money.
I'm telling you, I checked it. Matter of fact,
Their debut album in 1991 was The Low End of Theory.
Low End Theory, right? But
In 1991.
Wu-Tang came out in 1993 in the 36 Chambers.
So, A Tribe Called Quest, that was
21.
27 years ago.
There's another one that came out today.
91, 92, 93, I was listening to like Top Authority.
That part.
Yeah, I was all into that. Things ain't how they should be in 1993. Cops killed. Yeah, that was a joint.
We did
Dating family.
I gotta check it out, man.
We did just have the 25-year
You know what I'm saying? See, we all know what a date is. Y'all know about dating family, yo.
Hey, I tell you what, breaking news.
I'm about to go bump Top Authority when I get back in the ride.
Right.
Hey, real
I
quick.
remember South Circle. That was like South Circle.
Hey, real quick, and I want to stay on that topic, but it looks like the pundits are saying right now that the GOP will keep the Senate, but it looks like the Democrats will probably take control of the House. So that's kind
So does that mean nothing won't change? Nothing will get pushed through?
Exactly.
Nothing will happen in the next 2 years.
That's a beautiful thing.
Nothing will pass. The wall ain't going up.
Don't think of it that way. It's checks and balances. That's all it is.
Yeah,
The economy always boom when we have split government. So that's a beautiful thing. because they can't do anything, so everything works.
Everything
They're
works.
not interfering.
Yeah, interference. Yeah.
Well, that's a great thing.
So
I've already-
why are you mad?
Why am I mad? I'm mad about a lot of stuff, man. But I read something
It's
the
your
other
born
day.
day.
It is. So I'm really happy about that. That's really cool. I'm old again. Thank you. What really upsets me though is we touched on it earlier. I don't want to swing all the way back into politics, but I want to touch on this again. We cannot be a nation of hate. That's not who we are. We gotta stop the hate. And when we talk about this caravan, and I'm using air quotes, these are people that need help.
Everybody that doesn't exist.
It's yeah.
There's no caravan. Staged.
And so, all right. So if it's, some people say it's not happening. Some people say it is happening. So what?
If it is happening, we can't be. We're laying barbed wire down at the border right now in anticipation of people seeking asylum. Like that's not what they need. They need food and clothes and medicine. That's what they need.
They come to your house.
I saw a post. I saw a post that said
a system in place.
instead of sending the security send judges down there to help them fill out paperwork, become a citizen. Instead of sending like the army down there, send judges and lawyers down there to help them fill out paperwork.
To do what?
I would have filled out my paperwork online
to do it the right way.
3,000 miles.
But the thing is, man, why do we care here in Indiana? Like we would never have any remnants. We would say moves, like maybe
At some point they'll be here.
like what 5 people?
It depends. It depends if their families here or not.
Yeah, okay, so 10.
Think about this, man. If there is a caravan of 10,000 people walking, heading to the United States of America, and we know exactly where they are, and the caravan is here, and they're there, and they're right here, and all this. Don't you think we send somebody down there before they even got to this motherfucker?
We on this side waiting on them. Suppose we on this side waiting on them.
Garbage.
There's no why you gonna walk through 7 countries to get here.
It's bad. It must be
It's
bad.
so bad. Why you walking through 7 countries to get here?
There's
And
no
if you're so poor, how are you hiring these $3,000 hour lawyers and buses and security?
Hey, sir, are you in the caravan? Are you going to the United States?
Yes.
Why do we?
Hey, I tell you, man. I play.
What does
I
it
play
matter?
baseball. Hey, all right, hey guys, Heavy Ears Radio Show. You know what? We don't know if it's a caravan or not, but here's what we want. We want our television back. We don't want to watch these goofy commercials. We want to start selling the stuff again. You know what? Whoever's in office, it does affect us, but not as much as we give up. And I tell you what, CC, we do want people to start getting together again. One thing I will say about the Heavy Ears Radio Show is I feel like we definitely represent what society should be like. It's total inclusion, whether it's female, male, the whole thing.
Right.
Typically, people are around. There'll be different groups around us, and they, and they're all good as well. And so it's all good. I got a punch. Hey, folks, this Musa Big House, man. I got Jeezy to my right. I got Ron to my left. We got the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on the end there, man. As a matter of fact, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make Fron and Lil Bougie members of the league, man. They come. They come, man. So hey, raise your
All in
glasses.
favor?
All in favor? Any nays?
Yeah, you made
No
man.
nays? All right, so
Get some shirts made out of the league.
so we got Fron and Lil Bougie, man, Elijah as the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, man. They're in
Ron, you're
there.
not part of that crew.
Hey, real quick.
Not a man.
And I gotta tell you this real quick too, guys. So not this Thursday, but next Thursday, new show on a Spreaker. Guess what it's gonna be called?
Conversation with Coaches.
It's called Me and My Ex-Wife's Husband.
What?
Me and my ex-wife's
That's a
husband, man.
good
Y'all
show.
tuned in, man.
Good show.
Me and my ex-wife's husband is Moose and his ex-wife's husband, man, chopping it up. We're gonna be listening to music, talking to him, just kind of chill.
We did that one time.
Talking about relationships and the whole deal, man. It's coming out. So
We all have sex talk.
So it's coming.
My guy Cole.
We talking about Chris and Gary Cole. We're not gonna talk about that.
That's not part of the guy.
That's not part of it.
But that would be, baby. You know what's good for the podcast, though.
We're not talking
I
about
mean, can I call in?
You can call. You can
Guy Cole.
You feel me if you want to. We're not talking about that. All right, so
That's about favorite positions.
That's coming soon. That's coming soon. And remember, check out that girl, Lafayette Square, 11/11/18, man. It's gonna be real cool. All right. Fran, you selling any homes? You doing any loans or anything?
I'm always selling homes.
All right.
No wonder he sold.
All right, and it obviously sounds like congratulations to Lil Bougie.
Congratulations. Dilly.
For the new crib, man. The new crib.
Point is that I'm still doing my thing, and it's more towards the educational point of getting people into homes. So right now, yes, I can go and sell you a mortgage all day, every day, no problem. But to have a good understanding of what it is that you're trying to do and looking to build on what it is that you have, to go from one place to the next and accomplish that home. I'm there doing financial education all times, every time. It doesn't matter if it's a group, doesn't matter if it's one-on-one. Come and talk to me. I'm going to try to take care of you.
We're doing it, man. Fran's going to get you in there. Hey, remember, man, we are where you are.
So get comfortable.
Come on in.
Yeah, man. Peace.